So what I found out about the base, also says it on the back of the headstock, but it's an Ibanez GSR 190. So if any of you have that, don't ship it, I guess, because they are, I mean, the one GSR 190 I've seen was used as a baseball bat. So it's a 34-inch scale, rosewood board, maple neck, 22 frets. So that's like this, you know, pretty typical for, I mean, it's very rare to see something that's not just a maple neck, which is nice because I have a ton of like spare maple, and I can use that to, you know, do like a little bit of wood shavings mixed with wood glue if I need to create kind of a filler, because I actually have a ton of extra maple. So yeah, and then the rosewood board, pretty easy. It's my preference, so it's gonna be easier to mess around with that. Rosewood is pretty soft from what I remember. So I mean, so is maple. So yeah, my plan is I got a 2-part epoxy. So I got this. I live in Japan, so it's probably not going to mean anything to you guys, but I got a 2-part epoxy, which is pretty cool. Excited to use that. After I Google Translate it and make sure, you know, double check everything, make sure it's the correct one. So I do have a list of materials that I kind of jotted down that I need. It's kind of like a checklist. So the frets, tuners, strings, nut. Yeah, the nut was gone. They also took the nut that went with the baseball, I'm assuming, after they hit it. Fret markers, fretboard, I think I already said those. And so far, I already have the frets, fretboard, fret markers. I have a nut. Like, I have a bunch of, like, blank nuts. So I might just try. I mean, it's a bone nut, and bone nuts, dude, the smell when you're, like, shaving and cutting down a bone nut is just horrendous. So I might do that. I often don't want to do it. I might buy, like, a pre-cut nut because I have to go to the guitar shop. And to be honest, I'm remembering now that I have a bass nut laying around here somewhere. I think it's an ivory, or like not the real one, the fake ivory, the graphite, you know, Graph Tech. That's what I'm thinking of. So yeah. And then I'll change the strings on it, which is going to be pretty weird because I don't think I've ever changed strings on a bass. I mean, it's going to be the same thing. It's just such a rarity for people to change them because the bass that I have, the strings are like 1.5 years or maybe even 2 or 3. I don't remember. I don't even know how long I've had it, to be honest. Kind of forgot I had it. So yeah, I've been rambling. I'm hopefully going to cut down a lot of that. So I'm going to continue working on this, and I will try to get it on video. I already kind of started. I was just kind of messing around with it. So yeah, hopefully I don't goof this up. So I'm making so much progress. Almost done. I just wanted to, you know, get the ending of it or whatever. So I'm gonna go for it. Trying to get back into the rhythm. Look at that. We did it. All right. Now I just got to clean all this up, but whew. I only cut myself like maybe 3 or 4 times. I want to get the rest of this stuff off though. All right. So this is the next day. We did it. We finally got the fretboard off, and it was a lot smoother than yesterday. Whenever I first tried starting to get the fretboard off, that was horrible. And I communicated my injury that I sustained from that, and I texted her this morning, and she says That's fine. Get back to work. Time is money. So yeah, I mean, so she's pretty understanding about it. And now we're gonna go ahead and get into the actual epoxy part, which is the one that it's really easy to make this go completely wrong, because it's gonna suck if we like set the epoxy and then, because I'm saying we, because whoever's watching this, you're in this with me too, so you're also gonna be responsible if we goof it up. But we're gonna try to set the epoxy, and it's fast acting. So I did a little bit more research into this. I mean, research what I could get from the internet or whatever, but it is going to be very quick. So I'm assuming it'll probably set within 10 minutes. There's not really much more information that I can see on here. I am going to use the accelerant because that's the only way to get it to not dry just white, I guess, which I really don't want it to be. So the accelerant is going to accelerate, but then it's also going to make it so it just dries clear, which is what I really want. Even though it's going to be in the middle of it, it's not, I just don't want to have to, have like a white gap almost. Like I don't want it to be very visible. So the first step is that we're going to set the epoxy through these gaps. And luckily, there's not really any shards. So it does fit properly as it can. There is one little bit that's missing, but I'm going to fill that in the next step after this, which is going to be routing two gaps, basically. It's like what I was talking about at the beginning of yesterday's episode of part 1 or whatever. So I'm going to let me get a better example here for you. So imagine this is already set. I'm going to get a pencil actually and just show it to you. So, watch me just like goof around with it too much and then it just breaks off. But essentially what we're going to do is, this is the gap right here that's getting epoxied. So then we're going to route two channels basically just right through here. And then that's where it's going to be like that capital I kind of shape. And I haven't sanded this, so you'll be able to see it more clearly. But that's going to be like the next episode, because I'm going to let this like set for a while. And I am going to be meeting some friends for dinner tonight. So I'm going to try to get it set now. And I'm just going to let it sit. And then probably tomorrow, after work, I'll probably get started on actually like sketching out what I want to do. And then once that's set, I'm going to sand it down, get it level. And then I got something to show you. Let me go grab it. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing here. So this is what we got. I went with Ebony. So, because to be honest, I just really like the look of Ebony. But I am going to probably talk to her about it first, actually. Because if she doesn't prefer Ebony, there's a little bit of a schmutz in here. But if she doesn't like Ebony, I could always just order just the same kind of rosewood. And I wouldn't mind putting this on another guitar that I've been working on for myself. I don't know. Ebony looks really good. If she wants to use this, that's fine, because I'm also going to... I might just buy another one, dude. This looks really good. I love just how dark it is. Here, let me grab the old one. Oop. So, kind of a off-topic tangent. This is a neck for a telly that I'm building for one of my buddies. Maple, I don't know. Once I stain it, it'll look really good, hopefully. Because I'm going to stain it kind of... Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. So this is my Japanese Strat. Love this thing. So this is a 94. And this thing is... It's got like the tinted, you know what I mean? Like the vintage, like amber kind of coloring on it. So I'd hate when companies just put like a clear coat on like this, like just on base maple, like the Fender Player Series does it. Not a fan. I really dislike that kind of stuff. I'm just not, I don't like it, So I'm going to stain this And then that's like, you know, the one option, which I could actually talk to her about, see if she wants maple, which I don't really see why people would want just this kind of maple. I mean, if it's this kind, you know, I could try my hand at doing like a roasted maple. We got options, man, and I'm probably just going to show her this video and just have her choose which one she likes better. So we have the two maple choices. I don't even know if you can really tell on the camera. God, these things are kind of heavy. So we have vintage amber maple, roasted maple. In my closet, I have, you know what? I'm just going to grab it. We have kind of hard to even really see it. Flamed maple. This is a Warmoth neck. This is actually a Warmoth Mustang neck. I kind of goofed up the sanding on it, but I might finish that Mustang build. Because I was upgrading like a classic vibe. I don't know. If I end up doing it, I'll use this part of this video as the intro for that, I guess. It'd be kind of fun to do. I was going to build a guitar for my cousin, just like send it to him as like a surprise. Damn, this is a really nice neck. I should probably do something with this. But flamed maple. Not to be confused with roasted maple, by the way. That was something that a buddy of mine and I got into an argument about, and I was completely wrong. I thought they were the same. And I was wrong, because you have to finish flamed maple, but not roasted maple. So roasted maple is already, you know, good or whatever. So what she previously had was rosewood. This is the old sad board that I just completely destroyed, but it was, you know, I might I might do something. I'm gonna try to give this back to her. So yeah, we could do rosewood or ebony. I can always just get more rosewood, because I could order rosewood if she prefers that, and then I could just do ebony on one of my other necks that I've been working on. So this is one that I made. It was, well, not really made. This is one that I got from Mighty Might, and then it was originally a replacement for one of my Strats, but at the risk of making it seem like I was trying to fake it, I put my own like signature and like whatever on it. So I ended up finishing this one. So this is actually a good example of like what I could do. So this is how like a normal maple neck would look. And then this is the kind of stain that I put on it and then, you know, coated. So not a very good stain job either. This was the first time I tried doing that. You can see the other example. This is my completed guitar. This is the one that I actually built. So this one, this is like the stain. So I could stain the maple neck like that. Just like do a complete, like all maple with this color. There's a burn mark on here. What the hell? Where'd you get burned at, buddy? Burn mark up here. That one I did on purpose. But yeah, I like the look of like the stained vintage maple with the rosewood on top. But can you imagine how fucking good that would look? Ebony is like just one shade or two off of just being completely black, which I think would look really good with all of the stainless steel frets on it. Or nickel. I mean, any kind of a fret, really. I'll have to check which ones I have. But also, dude, to be honest, I don't think that I think I might be kind of annoying her, to be honest, because I keep like texting her and saying like, hey, do you care about like the specific type of, well, I guess asking a normal, like what kind of strings you prefer is pretty normal, but like, I don't know if I should really even bother her with being like, hey, do you care if I use ebony, Indian rosewood, or like Brazilian rosewood, or do you want a maple cap? Do you want me to do a veneer? I couldn't even do a veneer, actually. That would be really hard. A veneer is, I've got that on one of my other Strats, and that's something they did in like this 62 for like 62 Strats. They had a veneer. So I'm not even gonna ask her if she wants that, because if she said yes, I don't know what I would do. I would have to just like outsource it. Doing a veneer would be like impossible. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how Leo Fender just did like a veneer in like this in 62. That's crazy. So now I'm going to just go ahead and set the epoxy, and then we'll see if I can do it in a timely manner and not screw it up. Because if I feel like I mess it up, I'm probably just going to pull it apart before it like has a chance to actually set. And then I'll just go from there and figure out another way. So what I have is a little bit of a contraption over there. It's the same board that I was using when I was removing the fretboard. But this time I have a bunch of these small ratchets. Don't know where they are. I'm going to have to find those. But I have a bunch of like small ratchets that I'm going to set it, ratchet, but I'm going to put some tape around as well, like on where the actual like cut is. So where the break is at, I'm going to put some tape around there to like really bind it. And then I'm going to do some ratchets around the board. And I also have these giant zip ties. So I've seen people do either one, but I have a ton of ratchets that I bought and I've never really used them. So here we go. Go free cam on this. So now we've got our bond. It's not pretty, but after filling the gaps, once it sets, I mean it's not gonna fucking move, but like after we fill these gaps and then let it set, put the dowels in, sand and refinish, and this thing is probably going to be very indistinguishable. We got lucky that the brake almost follows like the same kind of like pattern as the actual wood grain, because by the end of it I could actually use like a slightly darker wood filler. If I could get a wood filler that would match like the actual grain, you know, we could make it. My goal is to make it like completely indistinguishable. So yeah, there we go. We'll let this sit, and then part 3 we will hopefully be able to get a lot more ground.